it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again on this miserable day. Certainly when I'm filming this, the weather is disgusting. It is not yet half past 9 in the morning. It is pouring with rain and it's dark. I've got every single light on that I can have on and it's still not brilliant lighting. So I apologise if it's a bit dark. But welcome to Simple Stamping Saturday, the second in my series of simple stamping and how to then up the style. So I'm going to look at very straightforward, something that's a little more complicated, and then something that's a bit more advanced. I'm only going to cover the very straightforward in this video. I will show you the projects that I've done for the others, but I will show you one of the techniques in probably on Top Tip Tuesday, actually, because I haven't filmed it yet, so I'll do it for Top Tip Tuesday. So this is the card that I am going to show you how to make. It's using the Spirited Snowmen. This is one of the items that is going from the Autumn Winter catalogue, as in it's not carrying over. As at when I am filming this, it's still available. It's on page 38 of your Autumn Winter catalogue. It's £18 on clear mount and £25 on wood mount. My feeling is that there is not a huge amount of stock because the price hasn't been reduced. And my gut feeling is that things that are overstocked are the things that have been discounted. So if you want this set and it is so sweet, then grab it and grab it quickly. So we are also using note cards and envelopes, so everything else is going to be from the annual catalogue. So we're using note cards and envelopes. You get 20 note cards and envelopes for just £6. They're 3.5 by 5 inches, which is a great size, and certainly for the UK is fine in the post. You can get them in either Very Vanilla or Whisper White, but as I say, you get 20 note cards and 20 envelopes, and it's only £6. We are also going to use the Memento ink pad and the watercolour pencils. You could, if you wanted to, add a blender pen to that, but as this is for what I'm thinking of as new crafters, I think, apart from anything else, I think this is a brilliant base kit that you can then add extra stamp sets to as you go, because you've got a black ink pad, watercolour pencils, which means you've got something to colour with, and you've got 20 note cards and envelopes. But if you wanted to get some Christmas cards done, then 20 note cards and envelopes will get you quite a way into your Christmas card needs. So, really straightforward card to make. We're using 2 stamps, so we're using the Skating Snowman and we're using the Sentiment Love Never Melts. Now, I have not done the cling conversion for these because as they're retiring, I'm going to not be using them for much longer anyway, so it just seemed a waste to use my spare cling on these. So at the moment they do not have stickers on. But first things first, I'm just going to ink up my Skating Snowman, and you'll see that I am rubbing the Memento. This is a hard pad, so I'm rubbing it over the stamp to make sure that it's properly covered and then tapping. That way, if you rub it, you can end up with streaks, but if you just tap, you may not get it fully inked. So a bit of a rub and then some tap, and that's pretty much every possible way of making sure you're going to get a good stamped image. And then just straight down onto your card, and I've left my note card unfolded because it's much easier to stamp on something flat, and then lift up, and there is our lovely snowman. While we are playing with ink, let's grab the sentiment, which if it were a little straighter on the block would be easier. There we are. Now this one I'm actually going to put on the block, on the ink. My logic is if the ink pad is bigger than the stamp, I put the stamp onto the ink pad. If the ink pad is smaller than the stamp, I put the ink pad onto this stamp. Either is fine. And then just pop this down in the bottom right hand corner. Now I could do this central underneath my snowman, but if you don't get it absolutely central, then it will look wrong, whereas if you pop it deliberately to one side, it's not a problem. So that's our stamping. Then grabbing my watercolour pencils. Now this is a very, you know, huge, I've got 2 sets at least in here. So I'm just going to grab my Pacific Point, whoops, my Real Red and my Pumpkin Pie and my Early Espresso. So just 4. You get a whole set that is, ooh, what's the full set? The full set is 13 colours, including white, and white's actually quite useful because it's very good for highlights. Now, the only thing I need the pumpkin pie for is obviously his nose. And then I'm going to do the colouring the opposite way round for this one, just because I can. So all I'm doing is adding stripes effectively. So I'm just literally doing every other space in red, and then again every other space in red. Now I'm going to do this as quickly as I can because I can't imagine that watching me colour is the most amazingly fascinating thing to do. So I just want to speed through it, but obviously you can spend a little more time doing it a little more accurately because you will have time. This is great if you're, so this is going to sound dreadful actually. So I'm not a great one for sitting and watching television, but my husband likes to sit and watch television, and I mean sit and watch television. So I like to have something to do whilst I'm sitting with him watching television, and for me this would be that sort of thing. So unless it's a program that you really have to concentrate on, I would be doing something else. So at the point where I'm filming this, last night I made 60 of the 100 and something Christmas cards that I need to make this year. And by say make, I'd already done the stamping, I cut all the card bases, cut all the mats, and all I needed to do was stick everything together and add the embellishments, and we were done. So yeah, I mean, that was really quick. I knew what I wanted to do, and I just got on and did it. I would show it to you, but it's using a retired set, so I'm not going to. It's actually a design I've already shown you this year, so it's using the Snowflake Showcase. Yeah, really simple stamping and some embellishment. But it's gone, so there's no point in me showing it to you, really. Right, so we've just got to do the early espresso. So I'm doing brown buttons, even though theoretically that would be coal, so it would be black. But I want them to look as if they're buttons, rather than if I did them black, then it would look just like a splodge. So I do actually want it to have colour. Arms are twigs, and then I thought brown boots. And again, you could do those in black if you wanted, but I wanted to have the colour showing. And that is it. So that's as simple as it gets. So where are we? 9 minutes, and that's including me showing you what we were using. So really quick and easy. Then all you do is fold your card in half, and with the bone folder that you were using only minutes before, it's now hidden, there we are. So those are, and as I say, all I've done is change the colourway. So that's the simple stamping, and oh, as I say, for £44.50, that would get you everything for that project. But the main thing is you would get your ink pad, your note cards and envelopes, and your watercolour pencils that would keep you going for a really long time. And if your ink pad starts getting a bit dry, because eventually you will use the ink, you just get a refill. And we sell the refills as well. So if you look after your ink pad, it will last you forever. Ditto with the watercolour pencils. Obviously you just sharpen them as you need. Use a good quality sharpener and they will last you forever as well. So those are my simple stamping. Then I've taken it up a notch with the more sort of, I've got a bit of stuff and I'm happy to play with a bit more stuff crafter. I don't want to put people into different categories, so it's not a more advanced crafter. It's just someone who still wants a quick project, but has a little more money maybe to invest in their products. So I've used mint macaron card, I've used the Frosted Florals paper in the background, and I used the mint macaron coloured version. Obviously it comes in other colours as well, and I'm just checking that is still currently available and is not reduced. I'm not surprised because it's lovely. But the difference with this is rather than using the watercolour pencils, I used blends, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blends. So, and they were just single colours. So that's that version, and literally all I've done is cut the piece of paper, stamped this on a separate piece of paper and then trimmed it down, and then just stuck it on the front. So again, a really quick card, just using a bit more product. And then this is my more advanced crafter. So this has got more technique in it, in that we've got the mirror image, and I will show you how to do that on Top Tip Tuesday. It is so straightforward. You will just be amazed. If you don't already know how to do it, you will just be amazed at how easy it is to do. And I just added in a second colour for the other snowman. But again, I've got the same paper in the background, just a larger piece of card, then the Love Never Melts just between them, and I've stamped on the inside as well. So, as I say, 3 very similar projects, all using the Spirited Snowman and just stepping them up a little bit, depending on your crafting stock, really, and the sort of crafting that you like to do. So if you like to do a bit more technique, then this one would be something you might want to give a try. Give a try? Not sure that that's grammatically correct, but anyway, this might be something you would like to try. That's better. Then just a bit more product with blends, and the very, very straightforward with watercolour pencils. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions about how to get started with crafting, maybe you're watching this because you're new to papercraft, maybe you craft with, I don't know, fabrics and wool and other things, so maybe you're already into crafting as such, but you want to give papercraft a try, do drop me a line. All my contact details are on my website, which is linked immediately below. If you don't already sign up to my newsletter, why don't you? I send lovely stuff out, so give that a go. Again, there's information on that over on my website. If you decide that you don't need to be subscribed anymore, you can unsubscribe. Every newsletter comes out with the option to unsubscribe, so don't feel your inbox is going to get too cluttered. I send one definitely newsletter a month, and possibly a second. I'm going to try and get a bit better at doing that, so I may do them more frequently but shorter. And if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, you may wish to do that as well. That's in the bottom right hand corner. And if you've enjoyed this project, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again later. Bye!